Today was day number 25 of our year-long trip. We're currently in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and today we're going to be visiting one of the most popular tourist attractions here in Kuala Lumpur called the Batu Caves. This is a sacred Hindu site. The caves are located on the side of a mountain, located just a little bit outside of the city. We got a grab ride to the caves. Our driver was exceptionally nice. The main attraction was this flight of colorful stairs right next to this very large, tall, golden statue of a Hindu deity. We decided to end our visit there, so we walked toward the left of the stairs. There we found another Hindu temple and this large statue that wasn't quite as large as the golden statue of another Hindu deity, as well as this large eagle statue. Gage and I loved its face. Our timing was accidentally perfect because this local man had come prepared with snacks for the monkeys. He had brought them bread and fruit. And when we first arrived, there were only a couple of monkeys hanging around. By the time we went toward the flight of stairs, there were dozens that had come out to get food from him. They were so cute. It was really neat to see how these monkeys would start out very timid, and then like one of their buddies would get a piece of food, and then they were like, oh, okay, we can trust this guy. And eventually they were just swarming. This monkey was the first brave soul. He decided after getting his first snack that he was just gonna like throw caution to the wind and just get on his level. He was picking up anything the other monkeys would drop. Also, the monkeys did not like the crust. This little guy was afraid to go any lower than this, but he wanted the snack, so the man kept throwing it up to him, but he kept missing it. There were many visiting Hindu families that were coming to worship at the temples before going up the flight of stairs. Tourists were allowed to explore the temples as long as we took off our shoes. I think most of us were trying to be respectful of the people actually coming to worship, though, and not get in their way. After that, we made our way to the flight of stairs. At the base, there was this other Hindu temple, and there was this lovely pond right below it. I'm not sure how well you can see this in the video, but if you look closely, you can see that there's this beehive on the pinky ring of the statue. So there weren't quite a million steps on this flight. There were more like a few hundred. There were guards placed at the ground level that were stopping anyone who they felt had an inappropriate outfit. They had to buy like this canvas-looking sarong to cover up if they wanted to continue on. The climb itself wasn't too bad. The biggest challenge, I would say, was that the steps were a little bit damp. This was because the caves themselves are very moist and there's water that drips from the ceiling onto the floor, and people just track that out to the steps. I think for the most part, though, people were looking out for each other. There were a lot of elderly people that needed to take their time up the steps, and everyone was pretty respectful of that. The construction overall was just beautiful. The caves on their own were incredible, but combined with just the beautiful, intricate construction, it was such a sight to see. I'm so glad we didn't miss this one. Just up the steps, there was a gift shop and some modern railings and steps that had been recently constructed. But for the most part, the caves were intact. We saw a chicken and a rooster just living their life in this cave. At the farthest point of the caves where tourists were allowed, there was another temple where people were actively worshiping. Then we turned around, I bought a magnet from the gift store, and we made our way back to the Airbnb.